Hello. Welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the weekly live. This is the weekly live for women of color to advance in their career, build executive presence, and earn six figures. Woo woo. And really, we're doing six figures and beyond. We have been going live. It's been what? Over 3 months that I have been coming to you live every Monday with tips, tricks, secrets, all about how to land the six-figure role and beyond while still having time for your life, for personal freedom, for family time, all these things. Love it. You all have been an amazing audience. Y'all have been rocking, giving me suggestions for topics, having questions, enrolling in my programs. This has been amazing. So my goal is to keep this up through the end of the year. However, next week, you guys, I am going on vacation to Hawaii. So I will not be going live. I'm truly taking a real break and a real vacation. So no live next week, but I will schedule out some posts just to make sure that you all are still getting the information. I'm still bringing value to you guys. So love it, love it, love it. Welcome. Hey, hi. If you are new to my network or new to my channel, welcome. I am Latrice Huff, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color, and it is my mission and my movement to put more women of color in positions of power and leadership roles. Because you guys, when we are in control of our own careers, we change the world. I've been talking to so many of you all, and one of the questions I ask when I'm on a sales call, I always say, like, hey, once you land your six-figure job, once you get this promotion, once you're making 200K, how will that change your life? And so many of you talk about how you're going to give back. I have people who say, like, I want to volunteer more. I want to send more money back to my family. I had one person tell me she's going to set up a savings account for her family. I know other people who are like, they want to help pay for college for their kids. Other people are like, hey, they want to pay for college for their nieces and nephews and cousins. Just some amazing things. My personal goal, I want to be able to like adopt a school kind of and make sure that kids in inner cities have all their school supplies, everything they need to properly learn, just giving back. And it's amazing. So thank you all for continuing to join. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. And thank y'all for like coming through and like advancing in your career. All right. So I am coming to you all from Texas. Let me know where you are joining from in the comments, where you watching from. I'll give you a shout out, give you a hey, hi. All right. Today's topic, how to be confident during your interview as a woman of color. And let me tell you all why I chose this topic. I have a lot of people, my clients, people that contact me in my inbox, in my network, all asking about confidence, right? And when you are not confident, sometimes we don't even know that it's costing us the offer. We think it's our qualifications when really we went into that interview not being confident, doubting ourselves, not prepared, not having our stories together, and so we don't get the offer. So I've been seeing so many women of color get stuck in this interview cycle. So I've been doing a lot of content on interviews, and I'm seeing a lot of you all question about your confidence. And I do see it too, that when you go into an interview and you're not confident, you don't speak on your accomplishments, you aren't clear on why you're the best candidate and why they should hire you, then what happens is you end up getting rejected and you don't get the role. So that's why this topic is so important, on how to be confident during your interview as a woman of color. And I'm going to give you all what I like to call some non-traditional advice, as well as some very practical and tangible strategies. Okay. I'm gonna check the comments because I don't always see it on my little what's the name, y'all? So give me a hey, hi as you're joining in. If you're watching the replay, I love my hashtag replay people. My live, give me a hashtag live and say hi. All right, we're gonna jump right in. Number one, here's my biggest thing. And now I told you all why this is important, why you need to be confident. So you can go in there, you want to be able to talk to your accomplishments. You want to be able to go in and confidently and clearly articulate your value, right? If you have self doubt, if things are creeping in, if you're thinking they're never going to hire me anyway, you're distracted from the questions. All right. So the first thing that you want to do to help build your confidence and be confident during the live as a woman of color, you want to prep and practice for the interview. Okay, I'm going to go into more detail. Hey, Miss Carla, thank you for giving us a hashtag live. I appreciate you joining us live, sis. Okay, you need to prep and practice. And let me tell you all how. I did a whole session before about how to prep for the interview, but you should be prepping and practicing in the method of the interview. So, meaning if it's a virtual interview, you should be prepping and practicing virtually. If it is an in-person interview, you should be actually prepping and practicing in person if possible. That means have invite a friend out for lunch. Be like, hey girl, can you ask me these questions? Right? Like doing it in person. If it's virtual, how are you? What's your frame? How are you showing up? Like, do you have a lot of movements? Y'all know I'll be all over. I'm a mover, right? You need to practice and prep in the way of the interview. And now I'm seeing more virtual interviews, even for hybrid and in-person roles, right? Or they're going to have it where the first 2 or 3 interviews may be virtual, and then that final interview may be in person. You need to be prepared for all of this. What I am seeing now, thank you, pandemic, for allowing everybody to work from home. But what it also did was it kind of took us back a little bit. We're back in our shells. We don't always know the proper, I would say, in-person engagement. Like, honestly, these days, are we shaking hands? Are we fist bumping? Are we nodding? Like those type of things. Where are we sitting at? Right? Like, what are we doing with our hands? Are we writing notes? So I would recommend prepping in the method of the interview. Okay. So we're not, and here's the thing, we're not prepping in our head either. We're not going to be like, if you be honest, if you're Latrice, I prepped in my head type of person. We're not doing that. You want to actually be confident. So there is something, we want that muscle memory for having the words, for you practicing having the words come out of your mouth. And if you're unable, let's say you got an interview tomorrow or in 2 days, I highly recommend then you looking in the mirror and prepping that way. You can still record yourself too, but you'll find those nerves come up when you're in the mirror too. See that feeling. Give yourself something, a word, a key, an anchor that you can do to bring yourself back and calm yourself. You all wouldn't believe, even when I'm doing interview prep with my clients, and they know it's me, I put on my little blazer and I'll be like, hello, right? I put on my little blazer. They still get very, very nervous. And then we work on, okay, how do we calm these nerves? How do we make sure that you're confident? How do we make sure that the words can still come out of your mouth? But the good thing is they're practicing with me so I can give them feedback, and they're not doing this and making these mistakes during the interview. Okay, so let me know if y'all gonna be prepping and practicing in the method of the interview, right? If you're watching this and you're like, Latrice, I'm stuck in the interview loop. I'm stuck in the interview loop and you need help. I have a free workshop, How to Ace the 6-Figure Interview. Put interview in the comments and I will send that. I'll have the link to you all if you want that free workshop. All right. This workshop is going to help you. I talk a lot about my framework that I use, the tier method. The STAR method does not work for women of color. I actually have found that it doesn't work with too many people. I work with men as well privately, and I do a lot of interview prep with men as well. And we use this tier method. We have a whole framework for answering the questions that I use for them. And what I am teaching you all is not just for 6-figure roles. This is for 6-figure, whether you're making 100, 150, 200, 300. I have clients that I'm prepping for 300, over 300K roles, and we kind of prep in the same way. We have little shoots, like we really focus on strategy and approach. However, we definitely go through that framework of the tier method. We make sure that they're confident. We work on building rapport very quickly. These are things you have to think about when you are looking at a six-figure role and beyond. This is not the stuff, and I said this before, y'all. I love Google. Y'all know I love LinkedIn, and I love me some AI. But they're not gonna give y'all the real deal. They're not giving y'all the real stuff. Okay, they're giving y'all regurgitated facts that have been out there for 10, 15 years. And in 2024 and upcoming 2025, the hiring process is different. The job market is different, and you need a different approach. So to be confident, you need to know the approach that works best for you, and it's not mastering the star method. I'm sorry, I would just have to tell y'all that ain't where it's at. All right, hey Carla, she put interview. Okay, we're gonna get you that link so you can get that free workshop. Okay. All right. Here's the next one. My next tip. Y'all know I gotta look over here to my things. Think about what your brand is. And when I say brand, what's the theme or message you want to leave them with? What do you want them to think about you when you leave the room, right? Do you want them to be like, that Carla, she was amazing. She really knows her stuff. Or do you want them to be like, that Karen, I don't know, I got questions. Like I have questions about her background. Did she said she could do this, but has she done it before? I want you to go in and think like, what is the theme, the message? Um, what do you want them to remember you for? When you have that in mind, that's going to help you be confident because now you know you're going to weave your brand or that message into everything that you say. Right? You're going to know how to answer the questions better because you know where you're leading them. This helps with your confidence. It helps with articulating your value. And this is where I see a lot of people make mistakes. And I'm mostly talking if you're trying to get a 90 or above role, you're trying to get for a multiple six-figure role, you cannot go in there and wing it. You can't go in there and just be like, I'm gonna answer the questions. That's not working. You can't go in there and be like, well, I'm qualified. Everybody at that level that they interview, for the most part, is going to be qualified. Why should they select you? Knowing that, knowing your brand and your gifts, you're going to stand out, you're going to be confident, you're going to know your stuff, you're going to articulate your value clearly and concisely. This is what you need. Because if you go in there, you think about it, and you're like, hi, how do you, and you answering the question and you're thinking about it. I'm going to tell you something else, this side note. Going too long or rambling can also be a sign of you not being confident. Because when you know how to talk clearly and concisely and articulate your value, it doesn't take a lot of time. You know your hero stories, you know your messaging, you know why you're the right person. It doesn't take a lot of time to communicate that. So I want you to think about this too, okay? And then, all right, knowing how you're going to answer the questions. I have someone I was interview prepping today, and I do work with men. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, is there any questions that you really want to practice from before?" Like he got really far in the interview process, but didn't land it. And I said, "Hey, anything you want to practice? Any particular questions?" And he said, "No, Latrice, I'm really good because now I understand the framework of how to answer the question." And I go over this a lot with my clients on knowing how to tell your story. You should not just be, if they ask you a question and you answer it, just know that's not enough. We don't just answer the question. They ask us, we think about it, we answer the question and give a hero story. And a hero story is just an example of tied to what you just said, right? And we have a whole method that we teach on how you're going to communicate that. Knowing how you're going to answer a question. And we typically prep and say, we think the question is going to be this, and we will match a story to that question. Like we go deep. We are not winging, and we are not winging six-figure interviews and multiple six-figure interviews. We spend time on them. We master our stories, and then this is how we show up effortlessly and confident and master these interviews, right? And so here's the thing. You don't need to go on a lot of interviews to get the offer. You can go on about 3 interviews and get you a six-figure offer. And you don't need a ton of interviews when you have a process. Okay, so knowing how to answer the questions and knowing what stories you're going to tell ahead of time is really going to help you build your confidence, because you're like, no matter what they ask me, even if it's a question I didn't prep for, I know my stories, I know my brand, I know my value. I'm good. You're going to walk in confident, like, I'm good, sis. I'm good. All right. Oh, I got to tell everybody, I'm sharing too. Like, I am actually right now, I think for like the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing VIP sessions. If you are stuck in an interview loop, and you're interviewing, and you're not getting the offers, especially at the six-figure level and above, you can type VP in the comments, or you can DM me VIP, and I'll send you a link. We can schedule a call. We can talk about the VIP service. This is me and you on a call. We do a 3-hour intensive. It's called the VIP six-figure intensive, and we actually prep and plan out those questions, how you should answer them, your hero stories. We practice them. I give you feedback, and we map out your next 6 months for your career. It's an intensive. This is for somebody who's like, Latrice, I'm ready to make my next move. I'm already interviewing, or I anticipate interviews coming up soon. I don't want to be in this interview loop. I'm ready to get this offer. I recommend that service for you. Go ahead. You can put VIP in the comments, or you can DM me, and we'll get you that link to book the call. Okay. All right. Where was I at? I think I was at number 4. Y'all, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not even going to take long. Please test your tech. Please, please, please. Your tech and your lighting. I have had numerous clients. This is, now I understand when 2020 was just happening, we was figuring out Teams and Zoom and all that. But at 2023 and 2024, we know things are going to mess up. You need to test your tech. If they give you a link, you need to be testing that link ahead of time. Do you need to download the app? Do you need to accept certain permissions on your computer so that it can access your microphone and your camera? Do you need to restart your computer? Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know these things. I don't even recommend prepping and testing 5 minutes before. Give yourself around 15 minutes, just in case you need to restart your computer, just in case you need to use another device, just in case you need to download an app. A lot of times they're like, no, just click the link. You don't need to download anything. You click the link and you do need to download something, right? This, like, you could practice and prep and be as confident as you want. And if your tech fail, it's like, it kind of throws everything off, and it makes it harder to kind of get that confidence back, especially because now things are running behind. You're behind the 8 ball. Like, test your tech. Test your lighting, test your microphone, test your internet. Like, even now, my little thing is like, your internet. If you need to have a Ethernet cord, right? Or sometimes I find that my cell phone works better than my computer. Test your tech. Okay, this will help you be more confident, and then you just need to worry about answering the questions, not figuring out how things look, what you need to push. You've already tested all that. All right. Number 5, and I've said this before, but I love this, you guys. Please have a statement, some sort of affirmation, something you can repeat it, tell yourself, whether it's like, I got this, or, your next role is coming for you. What are 1 to 2 affirmations? Think of them as like statements you can tell yourself that are going to calm you, but also allow you to be confident and eradicate doubt. I love something like I'm all about, like, Latrice, you got this. You know what you're doing. This is yours. But whatever you need to tell yourself, it should be a running statement, and you should have that everywhere. Meaning a little post-it note. Meaning, if it's in person, you have your notes. You have a little book. I recommend having that affirmation in your book. Right? You don't want to trust your memory. You don't want to trust your mind in a tense, high stress situation. Okay. And interviews can be stressful. Even if you've been on 20 interviews, they can still be a little stressful. All right. And then here's my little bonus tip. And this is something very special that I do with my clients that has showed tremendous results. And it is visualization. Before any interview, I do recommend that they close their eyes and they visualize how they want the interview to go. How do they want to feel before the interview, during the interview, after the interview? What do they want the feedback to be? And what this does is automatically calms you. The brain doesn't know the difference between past, present, real, and imagined, right? So you imagining what you want, your brain and your body is going to be like, this is already done. We've already done this. We've already been in this situation before, and know how to be confident and know how you want it to feel. That's like my little secret cheat. Y'all, over here in my programs, yes, we specialize in, and I say this, in mindset, manifestation, and modern strategy. Those things together create a winning combination so you can quickly and easily land your six-figure role and beyond. All right. If you all have any questions, comments, feel free to put them in the chat. Don't forget, if you want that free interview workshop, put interview in the comments and we'll get that to you guys. If you all want to discuss more about that VIP call, just DM me VIP. I'll get that information out to you all and have a good night. Bye.